Zapow, A History of Comics by Linda Cave. Do you read the funniest in the paper? They have been popular for more than 100 years. They tell stories with words and pictures, and new episodes appear each day. Assuming you read comics, you know they can be funny. Sometimes they feature adventures or political issues. Some comics are in books too. Development of comics. 1896 Yellow Kid. 1897 Speech Balloons Story Panels. 1907 Daily Comics. 1933 First Comic Books. 1934 Flash Gordon. 1938 First Superman. 1941 Calling All Girls, first comic for girls. 1939 to 1945 comic books popular with World War II soldiers. 1950s first comics for grown-ups. 1957 standards for comic books set by Comics Code Authority. 1970s comic book collecting. Present motion pictures based on comic books. Early days. In 1896, the comic Yellow Kid appeared in Sunday paper. The kid wore a wild yellow suit. The words he spoke were written on the suit. People thumbed through the page just to read the comic. Some comics were in many Sunday papers. One artist used a speech balloon to show a character speaking. Other artists began to use the balloons. Art about the same type, artists developed panels or boxes to show a series of events. Later, publishers put comics in their papers every day. Comic strips to comic books. In the early 1930s, someone collected newspapers comics into books to give away to people who bought certain products. These were the first comic books. Writers and artists saw that people wanted the books and would buy them. Soon original stories began to appear in comic book form. The Golden Age of Comic Books. Many historians say the golden age of comic books began with the launch of Superman in 1938. He was the first character to have superpowers. His comic books were incredibly popular. They set a new sales record with over 1 million copies sold per issue. Notice the new superheroes' popularity. Other comic book artists create Batman, The Flash, the Green Lantern, Captain America, and Wonder Woman. They all fought villains. Some used amazing tools or had super physical and mental powers. The Comics Code and After. Some adults worried that comic books were bad for children. A Comics Code was established in 1954 to make sure comics were safe for kids to read. For many, this marked the end of a golden age. Today, comic books are still popular, with new superheroes and villains appearing each year. Classic superheroes like Superman and Batman find new audience through new comic book adventures and in movies. Using words and artwork together to tell a story is still a winning combination.